If they're investigative reporters, they should know about the security aspects of it. I've known quite a few stories that investigative journalists have been working on that have had to been cancelled because the people that they were investigating discovered that they were being investigated.
How did they do that?
Well, especially the case for people inside the BBC, if you visit a website, even if you don't email the website, you leave a footprint on that website, and that footprint describes your internet connection, so people can see if the BBC have been visiting their website, and it makes them very worried if that's the case. I think a lot of people will be working from their offices in newspapers, radio stations, TV stations, and unaware of the fact that simply visiting a website leaves this footprint on the server of the site that they're investigating, allowing the people that are behind that website to realise that somebody from Swedish television has visited, or somebody from NRK, or from the Daily Telegraph. So it is a kind of security concern. The other big security concern is that sometimes investigative journalists will use a Hotmail account or a Yahoo Mail account, and they'll be unaware that their internet connection, i.e. their employees' IP address, as it's called, is carried alongside their email, so you can trace emails back to where they came from.
And apart from the security aspects, what do you think reporters should know about the internet, or how to use it?
I think on a very simple level they should understand that Google has an enormous pack of cards, 10,000 million of them. I think of them as packs of cards, and they have to make the magic cards pop out of the pack. They are after certain web pages, but their approach to finding them treats Google as though it was a human being. So they say, I want this, this and this. What they've really got to do is predict the words that are on the pages that they are after, because Google will just pick out cards, or pick out pages, if you like, that have specified words on them. So unless you brainstorm and imagine the words that are on the ideal page, then you're going to run into trouble. For example, let's say that you were after pacifist groups. You could type in, I want, Swedish pacifist groups. So you type in Sweden pacifist groups. What you're going to get is pages that say the word Sweden and the word pacifist groups. Maybe news stories about pacifist groups. Pacifist groups themselves won't say, hi, we are one of Sweden's pacifist groups. They will say, hi, we want peace, but they'll probably say it in Swedish. So the Swedish word for peace is much better than pacifists, if you see what I mean. There's a difference between what you want and the words that are on the page, and that is important to realise. If you use the words that are on the page, you can get Google to work for you. If you just type in what you want, then it's random.
So what would be your best tip to start using the internet properly?
To use the internet properly, the very first tip would be to imagine the words that are on the page that you're after. That is essential. Then you can start using logic to refine the search. If you get too many suggestions from Google, maybe it's not totally focused on what you're after, and you have to imagine more words that are on the page. You can use minus sign or not, logical not, to get rid of things that are in the way. If you are getting too many irrelevancies, you can rule those out of the search. You can also use or to give yourself more options in your search. So my tip would be, if you're unsure about what I'm talking about in this video, to visit the advanced search section of Google and see what options that gives you. Then when you've done the search using the advanced search section, look at the language that Google uses to conduct its own searches and play around with it, experiment, see what they do. There's also a few extra things in advanced search that you can do. For example, if I only wanted British government results in my Google search, I could specify I only want sites that have gov.uk in their domain name. And that can be very useful. Or you could do a special tailored search that says I only want American government and American military. And the syntax for that would be, let's say you wanted stuff about, about Norway or Sweden or Denmark, from the American government or the American military, you could say Sweden or Denmark or Norway, and then cite :MIL or cite :GOV, and that will give you either military or government from America. If you are after experts in earthquakes, you could say, I want seismology or seismologist or seismological or earthquake, and then cite :ac.uk to get you British universities, or ac.fr to give you French universities. So if you've got the name of a specific university that's local to you, you could add in their address. So you can tailor Google in that direction.
Mm. Can we just put you in a bottle and sell you?
Yeah, but make sure that you charge enough, because there's not enough of me to go around.